So if you're trying to improve, naturally you feel like you've got 100 things on your mind. You feel like, and if it's at a fast rate as well, if you feel like you're trying to improve at a fast rate, naturally you feel like you've got a million different things on your mind. Maybe it's like you're trying to remember how to be present, you're trying to remember God, you're trying to remember that, I don't know, like struggles are there to help you rather than trying to like get that bitch mindset. These are all things that I was trying to remember too, like especially when I was younger, and even like yesterday. That's why I'm making this video. Yesterday I felt like I was forgetting a lot of the basics, and you get that feeling of being overwhelmed when you forget one or two things that you thought were ingrained but they weren't, and then you start getting that feeling of, oh my god, I've got to remember 100 things. You're trying to remember to be present because you've been getting lost in thoughts. You're trying to remember to view struggles as just helping you get better. You're trying to remember that to nose breathe or something like that. I don't know, it's a lot of things if you're trying to improve every aspect of your life. Obviously, if you're just focusing on business, you don't care about being present. You just focus on getting a certain output done every day or input done every day, like 5 outreaches done every day. If you're trying to focus on gym, you don't really care about anything else. But if you're trying to improve everything all at once, which is how it should be, from my opinion, that's how it should be. That's what I'm doing as well. Like, I'm trying to improve business, I'm doing MMA, I'm doing all this other stuff all at once, which is how it should be, because when I'm older, I don't want something to be neglected. I want everything to be developed. So if you've got 5 minutes to dedicate to this video, I'll show you the solution and I'll also show you the mindset shifts that you need to have. So first step to do is to get a to-do list and write down everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. If you want to be more present, which was one of the first things for me, which was like being more present. And I feel like I've always got background chatter. Like I've always got just a bunch of images, 2 songs at once, or like 1 song at once, or like, but a bunch of images, a bunch of scenarios, a song playing at the same time, and I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing right now. So if you want to be more present, add it to your to-do list, 10 minutes meditation every day, and move it to the top, because when you move it to the top, that means first thing in the morning you see it. Second, if you want to, like, for example, business, that's for me, business. For you, it might be studying, or you might want to be an artist. I don't know why I say artist so much, but say you want to be an artist. Next thing is like 30 minutes of learning art, for example. So you don't want to have it all in your head. You want to have it so that your head's clear so you can be more present. Meditate 10 minutes, learn 30 minutes, 5 outreaches, eat eggs, blah, 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 blah. And it's like a structured list. Obviously, you don't have to be like some next level shit like kung fu guy that follows the same routine every day. If you want to meditate first and then eat eggs and then do your work because you're hungry, that's fine. If you want to go outside to meditate, that's fine. If you want to meditate in your room, that's fine. As long as the stuff gets done and it's in relatively the order that it needs to be in. For me, I need to meditate in the morning. If I don't meditate in the morning, at night I'll fall asleep. Or in the evening, I'll like just get a bunch of thoughts. Morning is the best time. That's when it's the only time it's effective. So I need to do it in the morning. I don't care where it is though. Outreaches, I don't need to do it at any time. I just need to do it sometime. For me, it's better to do it straight after I meditate, because that's when I've got the most energy. Like later on, I might feel like, oh yeah, it's not that important. So that's the first thing. Get a to-do list and write down everything in terms of action steps. You want to be more present? It's meditating. You want to make more money in business? It's learning and doing the inputs. And then you can differentiate the inputs. For me, that's outreach, client work, advertising, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now you need to give equal time to each one. So now you've got a task list, maybe like I've got like 25, 30 things on there. You might have maybe 14, 15, 16, depending on what stage you're at and what kind of goals you want to achieve. You need to give equal importance to everything. So the easiest way I could explain this is like never miss a task twice, basically. So for example, in January, that whole period, I have my task list split up into basically business, spirituality, you could say, including like learning about like new books and shit, and like reality transurfing, blah, blah, blah. And then health, you could say, like eating eggs, eating a carrot every day, going to MMA, stuff like that. So and then I've got extras, like low importance stuff, I say, like hanging, because I want to grow taller, hanging, what else? Stretching, stuff like that. So business for me is on top, then it's probably like MMA, then spirituality, then the extras. Extras, obviously I want to progress in. I've added it for a reason, like learning how to communicate. 20 minutes of learning every day, I've added that as an extra. The most important thing to do is not to consistently miss one part of the to-do list. For example, I've split up my to-do list or my goals into 4 things: business, spirituality, MMA or health, and then extras. If I was consistently doing business, because I feel like business is the most important to me, if I'm consistently doing business and I'm consistently doing the spirituality stuff and I'm consistently doing the extras because I want to grow taller, well then after 2 years I'll just be shit at MMA. It can go for any order basically. So what I was finding is that over a course of a week, I've got school 5 days a week, right? I'd come home, I'd rush to get business done, I'd rush to go to MMA because it's at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or something like that. I'd rush to come home, I'd rush to hang or something, and then I'd realize every day I'm leaving the same few tasks behind. The most like detrimental bit of this, like maybe a year ago, was when it was outreach. Obviously, as you can tell, I never made any money when I kept skipping outreaches. How would I? I'm not doing anything in terms of business. So I made sure that I did outreach first thing every day. But then when it starts coming to the like lower important tasks, you start missing out on them, and then you start becoming one-sided. The worst thing for me was when I started missing out meditation. Even my business started like just getting more scrambly and more disorganized whenever I'd miss meditation. So if you're hectic and like if you've got a lot of stuff going on, especially with school, you got a lot of stuff going on, you got to make sure you don't keep missing the same part of the to-do list. That's the most important bit. Like when you're trying to progress and you're trying to remember 100 things at once, if you're always remembering only like 80 of them, when you grow up, you're not going to be the person who you want to be. You want to be that like fully developed 100% guy. You don't want to be the 80% guy. So that was the second step. So first thing, get a to-do list. Second thing, try to attribute like equal importance to everything. So over maybe a month, everything should be developed equally. Obviously, every day you can't give equal importance to everything. If you can, that's great. If you can, that's the goal. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, okay, I've got all of my to-do list. Let me prioritize 5 tasks that I want to do. That's not how it should be. You should be trying to get everything done. When you can get everything done, that's perfect. If you just want to get better at MMA, or you just want to get better at business, or you just want to do business and spirituality, but you don't really care about the gym too much, you just do like a few push-ups every day, like 200 push-ups every day, you'll be able to manage it. If you want to become really good in every field, it will be hard, but you got to make sure that over the course of a month or 2 months, everything will be developed equally, basically. So that's the second step. Third step is to just remember that, it's just to keep trying, basically. When you feel overwhelmed, just remember that over time, it will get ingrained in you. For example, nowadays, I don't even think about stuff like remembering God or remembering to be kind or remembering to be positive. Back when I was like 13, 14, I would get super angry and I would get like, really pissed and I don't know what the word is, but it's like imagine like an angry little cat and it's like so angry towards the world or like resentful. I would get like that on autopilot because I used to play a lot of Fortnite. It's a comfortable position. I used to play a lot of Fortnite. I used to play Valorant. Valorant was shit for everyone's mental health, but I used to play a lot of Fortnite. I used to play a lot of Valorant, and that's just how it is. You start getting like a bitch mindset, complaining mindset. And for me at the start, it was really hard for me to remember the positives and remember to be kind to everyone, to remember God. Or actually back then I wasn't even religious. So it's hard to, like when you're starting, it's hard to remember everything. Definitely is. But over time, all you've got to do is keep trying. You've just got to keep pushing 100% and you can't give up. With the moment you give up is the moment that all that progress was a waste of time. If you keep trying, eventually it will just become ingrained with you. And there's a few things you can do to help yourself achieve this faster, where it becomes a part of your personality and you don't even have to think about it anymore. So for like a couple of things you can do is, number one is try make a slide of yourself. So imagine yourself, if you're trying to remember 3 things at once, say it's remembering God, remembering to be kind, and remember to view struggles as the path to growth, for example. Because back then I used to view struggle as like, why is this happening to me? And then I saw like a David Goggins video, and then I wrote down like, remember, or actually you're trying to remember those three things, and you're also trying to remember to live each day as a separate life, because that's something I've actually got written on my wall. I don't look at it anymore, but back, because now it's just autopilot for me. Like I wake up, I remember like today's February the 9th. Thank God I'm awake, and like I look around and like I remember to be grateful, because that was another thing. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'd be like straight away into the thing. Now I try to force myself to be grateful. Sometimes it happens naturally, sometimes I do have to force myself, but at least I force myself on autopilot. I don't have to consciously think 2 hours after I've woken up, ah shit, I forgot to be grateful in the morning. Like that doesn't happen anymore. So say you're trying to remember these 4 things every day, or literally like always, like infinite, actually no, not infinite, like constantly, you're just imagining this slide. Imagine an image of yourself where all 4 of these things are ingrained in your personality. For me right now, it's trying to be like being grounded. So grounded, like you can tell when it's like when you're talking to someone and they're nice to talk to, because they're fully 100% in the conversation. They're not looking around, looking for anybody else to talk to or something like that. They're grounded, basically. So for me, it's like grounded, being positive, being kind, stuff like that. And I'm trying to ingrain that into my personality. I've got an image of myself where it's called a slide, where everybody perceives me like that, and I perceive myself like that, and I also perceive the world as if I was that person. So that's a slide. It's like a projector slide. Everyone's perceiving you like that. They go through the slide and then they see you in your perfect self, and then you look out of that slide and you see the world as if you were the perfect self. So implement that slide, have it on constantly, really try visualize that slide. And if you're trying to remember being kind, that will be part of the slide. It all consolidates into one thing. If you're trying to remember to be, to view struggle as the path to growth, put it in that slide. If you're trying to remember to live each day as a separate life, so be more present, put it in that slide. And you don't really have to describe the slide in terms of words. It has to be a feeling inside. And naturally, you'll do what you want to do in terms of what to achieve your goals. Now, it's important here that you're not making your slide so other people get impressed by you, or to get the validation of other people, because then you've just put on a mask and it's just going to hurt you. It's going to make you sad in the long run. If anything, you want to meet more people and do this slide. Make sure the slide is aligned with you and who you want to be, and then meet more new people, because they don't know who you were before. If you've got the same friend group in school and they know who you were before, and all of a sudden you start trying to act more positive, you start trying to be more kind, you start trying to change yourself, they're going to try call you out, and they're going to say like, oh yeah, why are you acting like this? Why are you changing who you are? Like, you need to cut people off like that. If you're making an actual positive change, positive people are going to support you. If you've got a toxic friend group, or like a friend group that's just, you're just friends with them to feel part of a group, cut them off. It's not going to help you. And also, when you're creating the slide for yourself, the more you create this slide, the more you'll attract people who resonate with your slide. Obviously, if I saw a person who's on the exact same path as me, and maybe they've got like 500 subscribers and they're at 10K a month and they're super present, I want to be friends with him. Like, I genuinely go out of my way to be friends with him, and he's not doing anything. He's just attracting me. Anyway, so yeah, don't try put on the mask of impressing people. Basically, make the slide true to yourself, and have the slide, and meet more people with this new slide, and have the slide as a constant. And over time, it will become ingrained in your personality, and naturally all those phrases or all those mindset shifts that you wanted to remember, like being kind, viewing each day as a different life or whatever, that will naturally become ingrained with yourself. So that was a banger video. I wrote it all down. Like, subscribe and comment. Like, subscribe and comment if you like the video.